when I look and saw how dark and smoke, so I told him, no, I cannot go with you here. He said he's commanded to take me, that I need to follow him. And then he took me because his body is light. So we started going into darkness. His body shines around. You see some, able to see until we got down to the place where your feet can stand. And it was rock. And then from there you look, it's a lake of fire. Millions of people are there crying.
Welcome to Dominion Mandate, a platform where we awaken a deep hunger for the pursuit of God and equip believers to dominate their world for Christ. Here, we dive into the Word of God, explore timeless truths, and ignite a passion for spiritual growth, purpose, and kingdom influence. This is not just another channel, it's a movement.
It's called Hades. It's a paradise. It is not like heaven, but it's better than being in hell. There is no fire there, no torment there, no demon there. But when you are there, people in hell can talk to you and you can talk back to them. And there is a big gulf dividing the two compartments. If you ever see anybody who said he had out-of-body experience or actually died, and where he went to was not heaven where God was, he didn't see the angels and the throne, but he went to a place underworld, but his own section had no fire, is Hades. It is actually in the Bible. But the Bible said in Matthew chapter 27 that day Jesus rose from the dead. All the saints that have been dead came out of the grave with him. So Pastor Ben, I meet some preachers when they preach about the thief on the cross, the good guy. You know, there were two thieves. One went to hell. But there was another one. Jesus told, today you'll be with me in paradise. Some of them actually think it is heaven. It's not heaven. Is Abraham's bosom. It's under the earth. It's Hades. When you are in heaven, you can't see people in hell, and people in hell can't see you. The underworld has compartments, and for some reason I want to leave just these two because there are other ones. There's even another one called the bottomless pit. That's where they put demons. That's where they will put Lucifer. The day the millennium will start, he will be locked down there so that we can have peace on earth. Come on, my dear. You. Yes. I want to explain something to you, and the rest of the church will collect. In case you ever meet anybody who tell you heaven is not real, hell is not real. You see this thing they call hell? Have you heard of volcanic eruption? The earth core, have you heard of it? That it boils with sulfur and brimstone. That's the place they call hell. It's a liquid fire. It's not like bush fire. That's what you find there. It's molten rock. That's what it's called hell. Now, number one, how do you know? I have been shown that place once. God asked one particular angel to actually take me on a journey and show. He first showed me the heavenlies and all of that. But number two, science has already proven it. Number three, the Bible said exactly that. Before Jesus descended down there, he explained where he was going. He said, as Jonah was 3 days and nights in the belly, stomach of the fish, the Son of Man will spend 3 days and nights in the belly of the earth. He's letting us know that the earth also has a stomach. And I'm a scientist by training, so I know what he's talking about. There are two earths. There's the earth you walk on, which this is this one. There's the earth you live in, which is this one. I hope you know that. I hope you know that this one was also made from. And they have similarities. I have been cleaning since I came to this service. This thing is called sweating. Is that what you do? Every morning when the sun starts rising, look on the ground. You will see something evaporating from the ground. That's the earth sweating. Okay, your own is smooth. These are like the bare floors on the earth that is scraped. But if I open your chest and pull here, I'm sure that I will meet some hair. And you used to have him. Yeah. Those places where you will have all of this, those are the things you call grasses on the earth. There are mountains, there are valleys on the earth, and all of them are in your body. We will leave that. But watch that any part of the earth where you have water moving, you don't just have grasses, you have taller trees, plants and vegetation. You have thicker forests. That's how it is with human beings. That's why under your armpit and some other places, this is part of your equatorial forest. Anytime you go to cut it, it's deforestation that you're doing. Have you noticed that this earth, because we're going to return this one when we are ready to go back to the mother earth. Have you noticed that this one has 3 layers? First layer is the skin. You see how thick it is. It's not very. That is where you grow food on earth. That's where you bury people. It goes further than 6 feet tall. That's where you get all the surface sand and all of that. After that, you meet another layer, is meat, the flesh. That's how it is with the earth, my dear. So you see different layers of sand. You might even meet white sand, meet different colors of sand as you go. But after that, you meet a hard, very hard layer. It's called the bone. Is that not what it is? Under the earth, you meet that place. I have gone under the earth because I went to the diamond mine of South Africa, the gold mine, and they took us down with shaft. It's an experience not to forget. Anybody that goes there, it should be one of your tourists. Pay the money and let them take you. Rock. This is not ignorant. I mean, all these small rocks that can peel with your hand. What do you call it? Sedimentary rock. This is igneous rock. That's the one that has iron. Then, as they took us, we went down maybe like 7 story. We came out. We entered another shop. Went down another 7 story. Now, they give us this thing that we wear on your head. It's light. Then you go close to the walls. You see gold. You see diamonds. That's where you find precious stones. You don't find them on the surface, except in 1 or 2 areas where water has brought them up, like around some streams. But you see now, you see those hard layer of the earth, which is deep, travels from. When you pass it, finally you get to an open space. Because who would believe that when you crack a bone, that inside it is a marrow? You meet an open space, the rock there is molten, is liquid, it's like a river, but it's fire, river of fire, molten rock, made up of sulfur. That is the place that is called hell. That's where all the departed souls go to face torment. And it's very dark. Hey, show them in the book of Job. The earth, out of it you grow food, the surface. But right beneath it is fire boiling. And now I want to help you see the reality of the Bible. For example, that angel that was supposed to show me, after he took me, showed me the heavenly. I've had this experience 3 times in my life. Then he said, we're going to return back to the earth because I'm instructed to take you to the underworld. So when we got back to the earth, I was happy. I recognized the planet and all that. But he stood on the ground, spoke a language that only him understood. I didn't understand the language. And the gate opened. It was a tunnel. It was rock that shifted and a tunnel. When I look and saw how dark and smoke, so I told him, no, I cannot go with you here. He said he's commanded to take me there. I need to follow him. And then he took me because his body is light. So we started going into darkness. His body shines around. You see able to see until we got down to the place where your feet can stand. And it was rock. And then from there you look, it's a lake of fire. Millions of people are there crying. You guys don't know why in Dominion City we run Eternity Summit. I know the reality of hell beyond storytelling, apart from reading it in the Bible. That's why when I listen to people who have had death experiences, who have had that, I can recognize the one that is telling the truth. I didn't die. I'm not one of those who had an accident. This is just a vision. As for the earth, out of it comes bread. That's the surface. But underneath it is turned as it were fire. Go down, next verse. The stones of it are the place of sapphire. It does has gold. It's when you hit the hard parts, that's where you start finding precious stones. It took heat to form those things into gold and diamond. But after you pass them, you meet a realm of liquid fire. a realm of terrible darkness. Go Google volcanoes. Can you show them? Yeah. This is when hell releases its fumes. This thing you're coming. If you see the distance from where it's coming from. Meanwhile, sir, this is also one of the similarities between human beings and this. You see, every time there is volcano, it creates a mountain or a hill. Do you know that our stomach also boils? There are worms inside, and it's hot. It's a cooking pot. Okay. I don't want men to do for women, but if you're beside a fellow man, put your ear on their stomach, and you will hear kuro, 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 kuro. If you're beside a fellow lady, do it and see. Just because your head can't get to your own stomach, that's why it's do it. If you are beside your wife, any of you can try it. Go ahead and do it. I am a pastor, but I'm also a scientist. Try it. There is a boiling pot inside you now, and it's boiling 24 hours. This is the shocking thing. You know this thing, where it's coming from, inside there are worms, 8-feet worms. Some up to 11 feet that live there. There are snakes that live there. The fire does not kill the snakes. Yeah, the snakes are biting and tormenting human beings. That's how some of you are carrying tapeworm and some other types of worms inside your stomach. And this thing that breaks down food, breaks down everything, does not kill those worms. Now, anytime a man has a running stomach and you hear pa, 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 that's volcanic eruption. That's what happens. You see, have you seen communities where they do it in the bush? Where do they leave behind? Small mountains. It might look like a joke. It's just a prison yard that God created for rebels. People who reject Christ and people who are going to do all kinds of evil on this earth. Or are you expecting heaven to admit? Are you expecting them to admit Satan? So you're expecting them to admit witches, so that they think if you don't repent here and you die, it's over. There is no bribing. There is nothing like that. Pastor Ben, I'm going to look at how it looks. This is when it has reached the surface of the earth. Show lake of fire. You will see it. If you go to Hawaii, for example, where the volcano is happening 24 hours. Not once in a, you know, some of these mountains erupt once in a very long time. This one is 24 hours. There are many of such places on earth. Active volcanoes. And you will see that smoke, that thing that will be coming out. Smell it. It is sulfur and brimstone. Google it. Science said it's sulfur and brimstone, and that's exactly what the Bible said. Hell is made up of sulfur and brimstone. Brimstone is sulfur stone. It's like carbide. So people there can't breathe because there's no air, and it's dark. It is a world of hopelessness. And one of the most shocking things is that there are living creatures there, tormenting demons. And then there are snakes and there are worms. They'll enter people from their anus, come out from their eyes, enter them from there. All kinds of things are going on there. You know, gentlemen, what you're showing is pictures. There are small videos of reef where they can see the fire as it's coming out from the earth, is moving. So a group of scientists were drilling oil in Siberia, and they started hearing cries of millions of people from under the earth. They thought it was a joke. So they lowered a tiny microphone through the tunnel. If you see the scream of most of those scientists that were on and they were atheists, all of them became believers. There's also something I want to suggest to you to Google. This has happened a lot. People who live near active volcanoes, who live very close. Sometimes people build their houses around because it doesn't erupt every time. And you see them complaining certain times in the night. They are hearing voices of millions crying. It's coming out from that hole. and the distance is very far. Just check that by flight it takes up to 11 hours to get to US from here. 12 hours. And you have not reached the other end of the earth. You have not even reached half. And you can imagine what that will mean if you go by road, and what it will mean if you go by leg. And people are there forever. Jesus said, just like human beings have tummy, and the well has tummy, and Jonah stayed there for 3 days and night, I will also spend 3 days in the tummy of the earth. And after 3 days, he was brought back from dead. But see, now they are playing videos. So what you see there has been cooled down. It has traveled thousands of miles and cooled down. It has gone past through water, underground water. After cooling it, it gets to the surface. It can still wipe out human life, wipe a whole city out. It's still that hot. You can imagine how hot it is where it is. Is this that finally cools down and form hard rocks? Like all over Abuja, you have all these granites and igneous mountains. You get rock for construction. There were volcanoes. So Abuja actually sits on a volcano belt. If this city annoys God enough one day, and he wants to, the kind of thing he did to Sodom and Gomorrah, he just open up just one small tunnel, let it spew. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.